real business. So we stopped at creating the 3 queries and made them ready for connection. However, we have received requests to run through the process again for some who couldn't catch up, maybe due to network issues. So what we did was to come and click here because we had converted this to a table. So we come to get data. Now, I don't really know the versions that you may be using. Your own may not appear like this. So if you are working and you don't see this one here, because this is the icon that we use, you can still come over here from other sources, then you see it here. See this one here from table and range. So if we choose this one, because my selection, remember that my selection was on the table, so it came to this point. I just felt I should let us know, just in case your format or your version does not have all these icons. You could go through the other sources to pick your current table or range. Okay, so now we have loaded this, and we want to bring these two. We want to bring them close to the extreme end. So when we get to this point, we can drop this one here, and we want our state to be the first, followed by its staff, and then the sex. In our previous demonstration, we selected the ones that are good or that are well set, and then we right-clicked and we chose on pivot other columns. Now, for the purpose of this one, we could also go straight to click those ones that are not well arranged, then right-click, and then we can unpivot the columns. So this one is not telling us the ones that are selected. No, sorry, see the unpivot only selected columns. It might be that your entire data are not in right order and fashion. You can click this one on pivot columns or on pivot other columns, if assuming you selected the ones that are good. But right now we have selected the ones that we need to unpivot, and so we are going to choose this option. So when we choose this option, it has unpivoted them. All the sales are here now. And then, all the dates are here and all the sales are here. So again, we can just go straight and rename this, and then change this one to date. That time we changed only to date, but assuming that what we are dealing with has to do with time, we can also choose this, and then it tells you the exact time. Because our measurement in our table did not mention the time, so it's using this default 000. I think this is midnight. All right, so, but let's just choose only date. And so we are good to go. So because this is just a demo, we are not going to include it. Already you see it is renaming it as 2, but we are going to close it and discard. So we are discarding it. Now let's now load all the queries that we have. These are the queries that we had loaded. Now we need to combine this together. But remember that in our clue, Remember, we want to analyze. And what we are doing so far is to set up the table that will help us to analyze. And in our clue, we said you could analyze at the state level to identify any trend and identify anything useful. And then you combine the three states and then do your analysis. It is possible that your recommendation may be to make certain changes that will cut across the states. It may also be that this state has what it takes to achieve better. So support the state. Okay, so you do the two analysis. Now, for us to do the two analysis, that state by state, we need to load each state to a pivot table or pivot report. So now let's take, for example, that is before we connect them, before we merge the three states, we want to see how we can load each query to a pivot table and then see how we can use it to run analysis. So again, I'm going to double click or just right click here and click here. You can see the load to. I'm escaping. I right click on any of the queries that I want to analyze. And I click here, load to. This import data wizard pops up. I want to either use load it to a table or to a pivot table report or to a pivot chart. At your time, you can just explore them. But this is where we would want to do our analysis. So let's just take this Aquibom as number one, and then let's drop it somewhere. Remember that you need to identify. Already you can see at the background here, if you're not careful and you click OK, it might even tell you that I can't click because there are data here. So let's choose new sheet, new worksheet, not existing worksheet. When I am training on pivot table, I always encourage starters, new beginners to always place it on a fresh sheet so that you can have space and walk around that space. So now we are placing this on a new sheet. So I click OK. A new sheet is going to be created here, and we have Aquibom here. So I can do this analysis state by state. So I can bring my staff here, and then I bring my sales here. So these are the total sales for all the 5 days. And what else do I need to do? Several things that you can run around here. And the good thing about pivot table is that you can arrange the things that you have done, and if you don't like it, you can rearrange. The word pivot, you can turn it upside down until you get what you want. If I'm interested in the staff, I put my staff now. These are their different sales. Now, if I want to, let's say I'm interested in the state, I put my state here. Well, for now, state might not really play out fine because it's only one state. Assuming when we combine it, we put state here, then we'll see all the 3 states and their respective values. So for now, it's only staff that can play for us. And assuming I say, okay, for this state now, let me look at the gender. Which gender is selling more? So I remove this. I can decide to bring my sex here. I see that female selling more here. I'm just trying to jiggle my mind, asking some critical questions that might help me uncover some insights. I said, okay, can I just look at the dates? How are the dates spread? So I see my dates, female. These are how they fared. On this first day, the female, okay, the male sold more here. The male sold more here. Then here, the female took over. Here, female took over. Here, female continued to lead. Is there anything particular or so peculiar about this period that the women are taking lead? So these are insights hidden in the data that analysis can help us to uncover. And this will now help us to do to make some recommendations. Okay, so we just briefly delve into the analysis. We are not into analysis yet. So I'm going ahead to delete this sheet. Now let's go back to our connections. So what we need to do right now is append all this together. Let us have one table containing all of them together. Again, I will open any one. Now, once it's loaded, I come over here. This is combined. So I'm going to open this, and I'm going to append the queries as a new one. Append queries as new. So I'm going ahead to append this. And then a dialog box will open up. If I have more than 2, I can choose this one. As the case is right now, we have 3. So I'm going ahead to choose this one. And then the dialog box expands. Already, we have Akwa Ibom here because this was the one that we opened. So all I need to do is to click this, hold my shift, and select the 2 of them. And I come here and add. So I can add. If I make a mistake, I say, okay, please, this one should be taken away. I remove it. I can remove this also. And again, I might decide to add them one after the other. Click one, add, click the other one, add. Now the 3 of them are going to come under one table. So I should go ahead and click OK. It has done it in a jiffy, and this is it. So I can simply name this as South-South query. Sorry, South-South query. Then I hit enter, and that is it. So this is a power query now containing the 3 states queries. So again, just like we did the other time, we can come here, close, and where do you want to hit it? Assuming that in Nigeria, as we have the 6 regions or zones, I can compress all the states and create combined queries for all the states in a zone. So I can have South, South, Southwest, Southeast, Northeast, Northwest, and North Central. Have the 6 of them, so that I may also view if there is anything peculiar along those axes before I finally merge to have my national query. So with this now, we are set to do the analysis that we want to do. So I can close and load to. I can load it to table. I can load it to pivot table, report, whichever one. So assuming I'm loading it to table, so I click OK. That is going to come up as a new sheet with that South-South query. So this is the table now, and we are good to go. So this is where we draw the curtain for the data structure to enable us have our format for analysis. So thank you so much for listening, and let's open up for any questions that we may. Okay, so Paul, your hand is up. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to appreciate you so much for this wonderful class given to us. It's so marvelous, I must say it. And so my prayer is that God should give you the strength to do more. Within me, I couldn't believe that this kind of a thing exists in Excel sheet. And so I've come to understand it. And so I'm going to practice it. Please, I want to please you and beg you, and just like you have opened up to us, so that if we have any question where we don't understand, we can fall back to you. I appreciate if you answer. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, my brother. Like that, our WhatsApp group, it's a place where you can ask your questions. Anybody who uses Excel is encouraged to answer. We create a community that way, and we can also respond. And like we said from the beginning, there is no right or wrong answer. So we are good to go. Thank you. And the next hand up is Smiler Awelu.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Actually, I wanted to appreciate you once again for this wonderful job that we are doing to build our capacity with regard to using Excel. So as far as what my colleague said, actually, I have been using Excel for more than 7 years, but actually, I don't know these things exist. So the question that I intend to ask, my Excel is not showing that merge queries. Sorry, it's not showing this create. No. Yeah, sorry. It's only showing merge queries, but it's not showing combine.
No,
so I don't know.
It's the same thing.
Okay.
It's the same thing. It's the same
okay,
thing. Once you merge, and then you see append new or something.
Okay, yeah, append is down. I have the merge up, and then append is down. Append queries. Yes. Okay. Oh, it is the same thing. Yes. All right. Okay. All right. It's okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Asmau Saboa. Oh, Tahir.
Assalamu alaikum. Yes, sir. Pharmacist, good evening.
How you doing?
We are fine. Oh. It's just all what I want to say. Some people have already said. I just want to appreciate you. In fact, I really appreciate your support. Even though I'm not understanding anything here, I'm just following you people. The only thing I know how to do in Excel is just to create a table, make a kind of a list. That's the only thing I know how to do. A sum to sum. Okay. That's the only thing I know. But I have been following you, and thank God, a lot of people are getting there is an impact to what you have been doing. A lot of people are understanding. So thank you very much, pharmacists. It's been long that we've not talked. Good evening.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. Do we have any other hand up? No more hand up. Okay. So that means we have come to the end of today's session. Yes, it's being recorded and we'll share it shortly. So thanks, everyone. And if you need more of this, like we know there are still more things that we have in the package. And you also see other people who will be facilitating, and you will really love it. So thanks so much, and enjoy your evening.
Yeah, thank you too, sir.
Thank you so much. So sorry, no attendance for today.
Well, no, if you have filled attendance before, we have your email.
All right, okay. Thank you so much.
Just for your email, yes.
Should I go there and smoke on tomorrow? Then come and smoke.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.